Welcome to this week's Down Home with Tina show. I am super excited about the guests that I have coming up in the show. My first one is Deb Connell. For those of you who are unfamiliar with her, a lot of you know who she is. She is the executive director with the Lancaster Festival, and we're going to talk about what's going to happen this year, and I'm so excited because there are going to be things that are going to take place. Of course, as everything else, going to be a little bit different, but don't go anywhere because she's definitely going to share with us what we can expect for this year's Lancaster Festival. And then I have a fellow who, they participate in the Lancaster Festival every year. I didn't even do that on purpose. I know sometimes I'm just like, oh, that is so exciting. Victor Jones, he is the artistic director of Ohio University-Lancaster Theater Department, and they actually are doing something. They're doing something this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So keep staying with me because I've got a fun show coming up with some great folks. It's Down Home with Tina.
Dagger Law has been part of the Lancaster community for more than 110 years. This is where we live and work. You'll see us at festivals, sporting events, and all around town. We consider our clients as friends, and we walk alongside you through challenging times. Whether you're a growing business, a changing family, facing litigation, planning your future, or dealing with land issues, we're right here. We are local. We are trusted. We are experienced. Dagger Law.
The Frankie Smith Funeral Home and Crematory in Lancaster and the Johnson Smith Funeral Home in Baltimore have a long and wonderful history of serving our community. Feel free to give us a call at 740-653-0652. Stop in and see us at either of our two locations, 405 North Columbus Street in Lancaster and 207 South Main Street in Baltimore. Respect for tradition, regard for change.
Welcome back to Down Home with Tina. Deb Connell is with me. She's the executive director of the Lancaster Festival. And as we all know, we were so disappointed last year, of course, under the circumstances. I think it was something we just knew was going to happen. It was canceled. Yes. And that was devastating to our community because of all of the people that they come back. I know I've had conversations with folks in the past that they come here specifically to see family and for the entertainment, for what the Lancaster Festival has to offer. We're coming up on our 37th year. Now I gotta ask you this, Deb.
Yes.
Now, did you count last year as a year? Because I know some folks for, different things, they're like, they kind of like skipped it.
I'm not counting it personally as a birthday year, but we are counting it as a Lancaster Festival year.
Okay.
It's just too hard to have that big negative blackout of a year, even though it was. And we're just so excited to be able to say that we can have a Lancaster Festival in 2021.
What did you think when you were first told it's going to be canceled? Were you completely shocked, or were you kind of emotionally and mentally preparing yourself for that last year?
We were really paying close attention to what was going on in other places. Other festivals that are similar to ours. We were paying special attention to what the CDC was saying was coming. I tell you what, it was an extra special gift to the festival that Jack Genoso happened to be the board president. Because he helped me make those decisions and get to the right people to make the right decision. So I knew that it was coming before we announced it. We really didn't have any other choice. Of course, right. No matter what the festival does, keeping our community safe and happy is always going to be priority one. It is this year. Things are going to look different than a normal festival, but we get to have a festival, so that's the great part.
Are you doing everything as far as like the length of the festival? Is it the same or has it changed?
It's only slightly shorter, only because to take all of our events outdoors, which is the safest way for us to do our events.
Right.
There were a couple of events that we just couldn't logistically figure out how to do, so we just dropped them from the schedule this year. They will all be back next year. We can look forward to hopefully 2022 being a completely normal year. So we've taken all of our events outside. We'll have 6 events on the OUL, the concert stage, the Wendell concert stage at OUL.
Okay.
And we'll have lots of events on the downtown stage. Some of the indoor events for children that you're used to seeing inside,
yes.
we're taking those to that downtown stage. So instead of 1 concert a day downtown, we'll have 2.
Okay.
You know, things will look different.
Yeah.
There'll be lots of space for everybody to spread out this year because we're going to keep everybody socially distant. But we get to have a festival.
Masks required, because I wonder if that's the big question for folks.
That is a
because
big
it is
question.
outside.
Masks are required to enter the venue. Once you are either seated in your spot in the general admission, the grass area,
Okay.
or seated at your table, you can take your masks off with your own party. If you're getting up and milling around and you need to use the facilities or want to go get a snack, then you'll need to put your mask back on to circulate around
Okay.
with everybody. So when you go visit all the other tables, you need to have your mask on.
And I didn't think of this either until just now. For drinking, folks who bring their drinks and things like that, because it's still bring your own carry-in food
Bring your
and
own.
such,
Yep.
right? Now, is it going to be very much like it is in the restaurants? You're not allowed to carry your drinks around, or do you not know that big quizzes? That's
We
a
would
question where
rather
folks-
everybody stays at their table or at their place that they
Yes.
pick in the field to set up their little camp. That would be preferred,
And yeah.
because we really do want to have people protecting each other if they're out amongst the crowd. I know we're so excited to see each other.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there will be people there that I haven't seen in almost 2 years now.
Oh yeah.
So it's going to be really hard not to hug everybody, but I'm going to
I
control
know that's
myself.
what I was like. The hugging part is.
Yeah, so it will all be great.
Even still now till this day, I'm just like, and you know, people know that it's like when you go, you want to hug.
I know.
It's
I know.
like,
Or
that's
I go
my
to,
hug.
I put my hand out all the time to people to shake their hand.
Yeah.
And, yeah, can't do that. So.
Yeah, it's like I want to hug you so bad, you know,
know.
and it's just strange saying it. So okay, so when is the official start kickoff date for the Lancaster Festival, and is the art walk going to still take place?
The art walk is going to take place. It will be the first event of the festival.
Okay, instead
So
of like a
July the
Wednesday typically.
23rd,
Okay.
that evening will kick us all off with Art Walk. Art Walk, I don't know if you know, Art Walk is a combination event between ourselves, the festival, and Destination Downtown. Amanda and Colin put a lot of hard work into putting everything together for us. And what we've decided as a group is to make it a lighter feeling art walk. Try to avoid, you know, the places where we have those large crowds. Instead of one band at our the main stage that we put up downtown, there'll be several small performances throughout downtown, but we won't have our stage pulled in there.
Okay.
We're going to fill that area with tables so that people have lots of places to sit down.
And best that we can do as the public coming in and is still abiding by those social distance rules in the establishments.
Yes.
Because I remember the art walk, and there was
Yeah.
a lot of personal space that was violated during the
Yes.
typical pass.
I totally understand.
And that just
that.
happened. I mean,
Yes.
anybody that's been there, they get that and they know that. So it's really just being respectful to other folks who are there.
Right.
to-
Don't be surprised if you're asked to take your drink outside or out to a patio rather than standing in a restaurant. And I really encourage everybody to visit those establishments sometime during the week of the festival,
Yeah.
not necessarily Art Walk night. All of the artists that do exhibits for Art Walk, they'll keep their exhibits up the entire week. So there's an extra opportunity to see everything.
Deb, and I'm unfamiliar with this, do the businesses that are going to have the artist showing their artwork going to be open a little later throughout the week? Do you know, do they typically do that or not so much? You have to still make
That
sure
I
the
don't
hours
know,
are
and
the
I'm
same.
sure that they all
They
stay
might.
open a little bit later for Art Walk
Okay.
night.
Yes.
But I am not entirely sure if they're going to do that the entire week of the festival.
Okay.
But that's a great
Just-
idea.
Yeah, I think,
Yeah.
just because this way they can get everybody in. And
Yes.
folks who may typically be kind of just very, well, no, I say typically, who are a little concerned, then maybe they will feel better if they come down on one of those nights, even during, or make it, plan a day off. If it's something that you want to go do and you really don't want to miss out, you know, everybody else is at work that week.
Right.
Yeah.
And there'll be entertainment downtown. Come downtown for, you know, one of the kids' events that we're going to put on the stage, or the noontime. Grab your lunch, come down, and then go visit one or two of those art exhibits in one of the businesses.
How many events are you going to have for the children?
You know what? I haven't even added them all up.
But a lot.
But a lot. We're going to
good.
have our Major Arts for Minors program, which is art classes for children 9 to 12 will go on. We'll have our Children's Corner on the downtown stage Monday through Friday. So there's a lot to do.
And then, of course, we've only got a couple of minutes left. We've got to talk about the big acts, because
Yes.
I'm so super excited. This
Yes.
was just recently announced within
Yes.
the last week and a half. And so, ironically, how we just plan things happen for a reason. You're supposed to be here.
Yes.
I'm not going to say it. I'm going to let you. So who is the first act?
Well, you
And
just
when?
told me that you are a huge fan of the band Perry.
I am.
So the first Saturday night, July the 24th, will be the band Perry. The grand finale concert, of course, both with the Lancaster Festival Orchestra and both with the fabulous fireworks from Hamburg. But the second Saturday is Don Felder, formerly of the Eagles.
That gave me goosebumps,
Who
too.
doesn't love the music of the Eagles? I mean, this is the man who wrote Hotel California.
Oh,
We're
again,
lucky to have
goosebumps
him.
just thinking about that
Right.
and hearing
It's gonna be
that
a
song
great
live
show.
right there. And so how are folks going to be able to purchase or get the tickets?
Tickets go on sale on May the 3rd. There are some differences this year, so I'm glad that you brought that up. If you want a table this year, you will have to buy the entire table. We're not selling individual seats at tables this year.
Okay.
However, you have the opportunity to buy tables for all 6 of the concerts that we're doing outside if you want to.
Okay.
But May the 3rd, tickets will go on sale. You can call our office or buy them online.
And how many seats are there per table?
10 seats per table.
Okay.
The big difference is we normally have 440 tables. This year we have 225.
So get in fast.
Get in quick.
Get it.
Every
yes.
concert has an attendance restriction on it.
Okay.
So if you want tickets, you need to get in really early and get
All
your
right.
tickets.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I know.
And what's the website and Facebook for folks?
LancasterFestival.org.
Okay.
You can get tickets there. Very easy to purchase there. You can also call our office. Our volunteers will process over the phone, or you can stop into the office and purchase them in person.
All right, folks, you heard her. Deb Connell,
Thank
Executive
you so
Director.
much for
Thank
having
you.
me.
I just love what you're doing, and we're so excited to hopefully get back to somewhat be normal. The Lancaster Festival is such a huge thing here in Lancaster, and I'm very excited about it, folks. Do what she said and pay attention and get ready for May 3rd. And for July, you're watching Downhill with Tina.
Hi, I'm Amanda Wattenberg, Regional Director at Ohio Guidestone. Do you or does someone you know have a substance abuse disorder? Have you been thinking about getting help, but don't know where to start? It takes a lot of courage to ask for help, but it's the most important step you can take. If you think you know everything that's available in Fairfield County, think again. Like other chronic diseases, addiction can be managed successfully. Treatment enables people to counteract addiction's powerful, disruptive effects on the brain's behavior and regain control of their lives. Even if it takes multiple attempts, treatment does work and people do recover from addiction every day. So keep trying because your life matters. You matter, and we're here to help. Call 211 and ask for the treatment resources available right here in Fairfield County.
This message is brought to you by the Fairfield County Adam H. Board.
Welcome back to Down Home with Tina. I'm so excited. This fella, the last time he was a guest when everything was, I guess you could call normal. Yeah, compared to what it is these days. And nothing since has really been normal. Because I want to say, was it February or March? Last year.
March.
Was it March 2020? Because Victor A. Jones,
Or February.
he is artistic theater director, would you say?
Or February, I'm not sure.
It was one of those times. I know it was about that because it was just before. Victor, you were on to talk to me about your upcoming, I think, for the year, some of the productions that you're going to do.
Yes.
And as we all know, just like Deb Connell with the Lancaster Festival was on a few minutes ago in the first segment, that it didn't happen. None of it happened. As a matter of fact, you've been doing this teaching via Zoom.
That's right. And I think when you think of the arts, I think the arts have been hit so hard by all of this. Theater affects so many, but then you think of the concerts and symphonies and ballet and all that. So it's been devastating to our industry and to schools and high schools, and it just trickles down.
Yeah, I mean, our entertainment, it was just
stopped.
On hold, in time, if you could. That's where it was for everyone.
Yeah.
And that was just so
It was heartbreaking.
And heartbreaking.
Every time I had to send out a large email to our theater sponsors to say, we're canceling another show, because we canceled 3. And I waited until the very last moment to do those cancellations. But each time I hit send,
you were like, everything
her
body head to toe was tense, wasn't it?
Each and every time.
You didn't want to have to do it, but it was something that you absolutely had to do. So I saw a couple of weeks ago on social media that you are preparing a production. And how has all of this been taking place? Because you were telling me before we got started, and I was just going, wow. My eyes were going, wow. Very interesting. So I would like for you to share that with my viewers.
It is exciting because I've been teaching on Zoom since last March.
Theater
on Zoom, but it works. It's kind of like acting for TV and film on Zoom. We do technical rehearsals and sound checks and all those sorts of things. But what's really cool about it is, we canceled the 10th anniversary cabaret, but I have a teaser for that coming up. If you want to talk about that. We canceled the Sound of Music during the Lancaster Festival last summer. We canceled our fall production, and we were hopeful that we may be able to do a spring production this year. So we all, the show is part of a class that the students take to help with their acting. And we started out in January with a show that was kind of a throwback to the very first production that I directed at OUL 11 years ago.
Wow.
So we were going to bring that back in honor of having our first spring production. So things didn't work out as we had hoped with that show. And so then we were doing all these comedic exercises and studying farce and comedy and the rules of comedy. And one day during class, I said, as part of our class today, we're going to work on sketch comedy. And here's the prompt. I want you to go in your breakout rooms in Zoom, and I want you to create your own 5-minute script about online dating.
Oh my goodness.
They didn't know what I had planned. I had planned that this could evolve into our one-act comedy that would be our show for the spring.
Okay.
The students didn't know that.
Right.
So unfiltered, they went into their breakout rooms, created these comedic characters using the rules of comedy and farce, and they were uninhibited, and they wrote their 5-minute scenes on Zoom.
Now, have any of them, for the record, done any of the online dating or not? I mean, without giving out,
I don't know because I didn't ask.
You don't want to know, right?
I bet they have, but I didn't just come out and say.
You don't need to know that, I guess. Yeah. Or they may have, I'm sure, known somebody that has at some point.
They had some inspiration from something.
And it could be a parent, it could be a friend, it could be a cousin, it could be an aunt or uncle. Because even myself, I've never done that, but I have heard so many stories of people and their experience with online dating. And I'm smiling, but sometimes I want to cry for them too. Because it can be really a tough thing.
And they share
you don't know what you're gonna get.
They share all those things from their heart. And what was interesting is because they didn't know this was going to be a production, as I said, they were so honest and pure and had written it from their hearts.
Yeah.
And then you could see them when I said, just so you all know, I'm so proud of the work that you're doing. I've decided to move forward with this as your spring production. And you could all see them go, yay. Oh no! People are going to see what I worked on in class as an improvisation, as sketch comedy, not thinking, about hundreds of people coming to see it online.
Right. So what is it called? It's Romance, No-Mance.
Romance, No-Mance. a slightly romantic comedy.
A slightly romantic comedy. So what can it be compared to?
So
as far
when
as
you think about old sketch comedy, classic sketch comedy, a lot of things come to mind. But then as you move through, the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and now we're up to 2021, a lot of sketch comedy has evolved from then.
Yeah.
So you've got to also take the interpretation of the students being their ages 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and then putting them into this situation, say, create classic sketch comedy, but put a modern twist on it, and it's about online dating.
Which of course it was not even heard of.
Not even heard of.
Like even what, the 90s? I don't even think the 90s was online dating yet,
No,
right?
I don't know.
I think there was maybe email stuff, but
we studied sketch comedy and improvisation, role play, in regards to the first play that we were going to do, and farce and over the top comedy. And they looked at things. The students studied I Love Lucy. They went to the Dick Van Dyke Show. They went to the Carol Burnett Show. All that over the top. If you remember the sketch comedy.
Oh my goodness! Oh, absolutely.
Carol Burnett.
Yeah. Oh
so
yeah.
That's how we started.
Yes, I loved her.
Not knowing that we were moving towards our own original production. So I hope they brought some of that to it.
This your first original production?
It's the first original production that we've ever. We do it in our classroom sometimes, but we've never tried to license, premiere it, and produce it and put it on the stage.
How have you been able to do this whole time? Because they're not together.
Well, we weren't together January and February.
Right.
So as we've started to navigate, I had to put a plan in place that was safety protocol, university approved.
And that's what I was going to say.
All
approved.
those things,
Yep.
and how are we going to manage it? So the students take weekly or bi-weekly COVID test. They send it out to this company. They get the mail-in results. We knew moving into this that our goal was by March 1st to be in person in Wagner Theater, mask wearing, COVID testing, social distancing, all that in play in the presentation of this production. And we are now, we've already filmed the show. It was filmed last week.
Okay.
It premieres this weekend, Friday the 16th at 7 o'clock. And we're excited about it.
Okay. So how do folks get to view this?
So you buy your tickets online. It gives you a one device unlock. It's $15.
One device unlock. That means one time.
So you can have a viewing
one
party
device.
in your home safely with your friends.
Yes.
So you can gather a bunch of people in, unlock it. It'll play on YouTube, which goes to your TV.
Okay.
So you can watch it. It only runs 45 minutes, which is beauty for those of us who have screen burnout of watching things.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny. It's interesting because there's no live audience. So the actors don't know if their joke landed, whether they're funny, because there's no feedback or response from the audience.
Yeah.
So it's been a joy, and we hope we can bring a lot of joy and laughter.
Oh, Victor, I think that's great. When you say one, that means one time.
One time
unlock.
So if you buy a ticket,
miss it on Friday, you missed out.
Yep. You can watch it again Saturday at 7. And
but you have to buy it for
you
Saturday.
Have to buy it each time.
Another ticket.
So it's just like going to a live theatrical production. You buy a ticket for Friday at 7 o'clock. That's when you tune in.
And it's like it's live.
It is. We filmed it in one take.
Because you filmed it.
We filmed it in one take. A live film. Filmed it live from beginning to end. There are mistakes. There are errors. We know about them. But we wanted the students to have that live feeling of doing a show.
How in the world did you get them to keep straight faces during the? Because I mean, I've not seen it, obviously, but I just know watching the shows like Carol Burnett and I Love Lucy and those kind of
challenging.
Things. You just because they're dead serious.
They are serious,
on their face.
And you can kind of see a twinkle in their eye when another actor has kind of added something. Because even though it's scripted, they're encouraged to go off script every now and then and be playful with it.
Yeah.
To add the spontaneity to it.
Yeah. Oh, Victor. Okay, so one more time on how to get the tickets.
You can buy them online at ohio.edu/Lancaster, our regular website where you always buy tickets. Okay. The box office is not open. You cannot buy tickets in person at OUL in the North Lobby.
Okay.
Once you buy that ticket, you'll get an unlock for the streaming show. That tells you how to log in, your special link code that's only for you. Okay. You watch it that evening and you'll get emails telling you how the process works all along.
Okay, so just like, I don't even know how fast we can get this in a minute and a half. Are you doing something for the Lancaster Festival?
We are.
Okay.
Something really special that involves community members, alumni that you've seen on the OUL stage in musicals, and current students. We're so excited. A big announcement is coming soon.
Okay, it's not yet.
I can tell you
Okay.
though, it's Sunday, July 25th at 2 p.m. and 7 p.m.
Okay, and it's going to be where folks can go to it, or is it going to be the similar kind of thing?
It's going to be where folks can go to it.
Okay, so you can go in person.
You'll find out more
Okay.
information. It's going to
Yes.
be in person. It's going to be live. There's only 2 shows.
Okay, your Facebook information for
Sure.
folks to stay up on in
Sure,
the
it's
meantime.
OUL Theater, one word, theater spelled the Greek way, THEATRE, for Facebook, yes.
Perfect, awesome. Thank you so much
Oh,
for taking the time, because I know
thanks
it's
for having
crazy
me.
busy now. And folks, thank you so much. Don't go anywhere. I'll be back. I've got a little special message for you. I always do, don't I? You're watching Down Home with Tina.
Fairfield Federal. When it comes to our customers and our community, we go above and beyond to help. Our people make the difference.
We were retiring from Tucson, Arizona, and we made a retirement trip out around Ohio, having decided that's where we wanted to be. And we came across this town called Lancaster, and we fell in love with the downtown area, where the fountain is, and the memorials, and the flags, and all this stuff. And we looked around, and I said, "There's our bank, right there."
There's something to be said about a community bank in your hometown.
Right. If you live in the community, you should do business in the community as much as possible. So it makes sense to bank with the community bank where you live.
Fairfield Federal is the bank to be at. If you live in this town, or any town actually, you want to bank at a local home bank. And the employees are happy here, they're conversant, customer service is through the roof. There's nothing more you could ask for.
Personal or business banking, whatever you need, we take it seriously because we know you do. Stop by today at any of our 3 locations and see why the difference is clear. Fairfield Federal Savings and Loan specializes in banking that revolves around you.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Welcome back to Down Home with Tina. I've had a really nice time doing the show and having the awesome guests that I have. I get to do that because I've got some wonderful sponsors for the Down Home with Tina show. If it weren't for them, I wouldn't be able to come on each week and share with you the awesome events that we have going on. The nonprofits, I wouldn't get to highlight first responders and teachers and veterans that are in our community. And so I just want to give a shout out and thank them. Also, so I know most of us have had somebody in our life that has had cancer, or we know of somebody. And so I'm going to read a little of a story here about my daughter's got a friend she cheers with. They are the same age, so she's 16. Her mother was diagnosed with cancer this past winter. What had happened, and I'll just read the story because it'll be easier that way. She was diagnosed with HER2 negative breast cancer, stage 3. And she said, after my stroke, I had lost a bunch of weight and felt a lump under my arm, but thought it was bone. This was last October. She said, I had my sister-in-law look at it in January, and she said I needed to have a doctor look at it, and it was not a bone. So doctors set her up for an ultrasound. She said, while I was there, they said they were going to do mammogram. Then right after that, sent me to Dr. Hassel for a biopsy. He told me this was cancer on February 2nd. They did a lumpectomy and took out lymph nodes on February 17th. So now she is still dealing with some things from that she has not been able to begin chemotherapy yet. So if you will please keep her in your thoughts and prayers. And I was telling myself I wasn't going to get emotional, but the cheer coach came and said to us during my daughter's cheer banquet that they wanted to do something to help Gina out. And so they have made these t-shirts. And I've not done this yet on the show, so I hope that you will help me to help her. All of the proceeds from anybody who purchases a t-shirt, it says, Together We Fight Cancer, Team Jenna. And they're $20 a piece. And if you will just, I don't even have the website information, or the Facebook information. Let me know. You can go ahead and contact me, downhomewithtina@gmail.com is my email. And I would be more than happy to let you know if you are interested in getting a t-shirt and helping the family out. Folks, something I want to share with you real quick is my PQ. And this is things like this that happen remind me that we have to live our best life now. So get up every morning, and that's something I just started to do. And I tell myself, when I put my feet on the ground, I'm going to live my best life today, because you're the only one that can do that and to make that choice and that decision. I want to thank you so much for watching this week's Down Home with Tina show. Have a great week. God bless. And until we meet again, it'll be next week. Good day.